Whoa, bro. Looking good, man. You working out? You lost weight? Wow. Great suit, by the way. You working out, man? You're looking good. That's a nice suit. What is that? What is that made of? You know, velour? What, a silk robe?
All right, look at that timing too, Megan. That was amazing.
It was good. I was humming along there. You caught me humming. That was good timing. I didn't know if you were live yet or not. But
I was actually watching to see when you ended up. I was trying not to cut because you knew what time I was going, and I knew I wasn't trying to step on yours, so I started right when you ended.
Perfect. Because then this new Medium article drops. I'm dying to see it. Let's bring it. Let's bring it on.
I haven't seen it yet. Where's the link?
Crazy.
I need a link for it.
It's crazy. Oh, you don't have the link. Oh, hold on. Hang on. Shit. You know what? I don't have it either. Damn it. Hold on. Let's see. Brad can fix this.
Man, she's written so many articles. It's crazy. Well, you're getting that. I noticed something interesting today, by the way. Yeah. I was looking through our pal Gingras, and oh, well, I always enjoy looking through Gingras' stuff. And he said something that kind of, I don't know, it just kind of threw me a little bit. About 7 hours ago. I don't know if you've looked at what he had to say. So
recently? Today?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
No.
Yeah, so I thought this was interesting.
Today.
Now, you remember the denials about sending Clayton edited sonograms and stuff like that?
Uh-huh.
So listen to this. The second part of the second sentence will be good. Laura never submitted any false documents in court. Did not happen. Outside of court is a completely different thing. Sending an edited sonogram to Clayton when no case was pending isn't perjury or any other crime. I know you don't believe this, but it's a fact. Watch and see. Huh. That's a fascinating admission, isn't it?
Sending a fabricate. Well, how does he figure? Because it was part of the case. And it is a crime to send fabricated medical records. Yeah, it is though. But
they're just flat out embracing now. She definitely sent fabricated shit to Clayton.
Oh God, I can't even. I don't know.
I mean, that's amazing to me because I was like, wait a minute, are you just flat out admitting that? Because he's saying, well, sending that to Clayton when there's no trial, that wasn't a problem. And I was like, wait a minute, so you're admitting you guys have been lying in a courtroom this whole fucking time? Is that what I'm taking from this?
Oh my God.
I mean,
he's unbelievable. I can't, there's no excuse for him.
That's just, that to me, that's amazing, though. The admissions of perjury. It's one thing to perjure yourself. It's another thing to flaunt it, and to brag about how you've done it over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's strange. All right, I found it. Here's your archive link.
All right.
Oh, good Jesus Christ. What is this? I'm putting it in the private chat, but I'm already horrified. I just clicked on it and the pictures, oh my God, is this this is like a new doctored photograph. I swear to God.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to this.
Oh no, you guys protect your eyes because you're not going to want to see this. Oh my Lord.
Holy Ghost, man, Jesus. Just a second there. Forgot to mute my phone. You hear my Silent Hill freaking ringtone go off.
God, there is something terribly wrong with this person.
I know. Like, that was perfect timing, though. Silent Hill, horror soundtrack goes off, and I opened the picture right then and looked at it first. I always look at what I'm, before I pull it up on a stream to make sure I'm not going to have a problem with this.
God.
So did she posted this on Medium and took it down?
It doesn't appear to be there anymore, but we got the archive of it.
Damn. I mean, what
why
the
does
fuck
she
is
keep doing that? Laura, why do you keep... Oh, no, wait. It's still there. It's there.
When I pulled it up earlier, it didn't show. Like when you said something about it.
Because she has pinned when judges play doctor to the top. Yeah. And then somehow when common sense is overruled is this new one. But it's third down for some reason.
Oh,
I don't know
that's why. Because, I mean, when
you
weren't there, I looked at that one and I was like, what? Okay, so we have
That looks like a new doctored photograph, by the way.
Look at this photograph.
Oh, God.
What is up with this?
The belly one is what's really bothering me, because that is not what the belly looked like in that other video, that other picture we had of her. Like, now it's like further sticking out more than it was.
Yeah, but look her back. She's got a hunch butt. Like, she has no butt, but she has a hunch butt. And what the fuck is going on here? I'm confused. Oh, no. I'm gonna give me a second. I'm gonna steal this picture out of here so I can zoom in on it more.
This is insane.
I'm gonna save this picture because I need to see it more. Oh my God! Every day I look at this and I'm like, I don't even know what to say some days. I mean, this stuff is it's so wild.
I know it's very look, if David Gingras was any kind of lawyer, he would have taken her phone and told her, hey, you're about to be under criminal investigation. Whether or not I think that's right or wrong, or whether I think you're going to win or lose, you need to stop talking now. You need to say nothing. Everything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law. Do not say anything else. Do not write anything else. Do not post any more pictures. Do not put out anything. For crying out loud, what is wrong with him that he is allowing her to do this? This is bad lawyering. He should not allow her to do this.
But look at that. I mean, look. Hunchback. Hunch butt. Because there's no butt. It's a weird bulge here still. That's kind of weird. What, she let when she got out, she forget to buckle it up? Or...
I don't know.
I mean, she's like, look, it looks like it's been really, it's either the reflection or really bad Photoshop. I can't really tell right there. But look,
I can't tell either.
I mean, she's like waving.
Whose picture is this too? This is not one of mine. So like, who took this picture? I wonder who took this picture.
I don't know, man, but that's crazy.
I don't think that's one of Alex's that she took. I would have recognized it.
Look, she doesn't have an ankle. It's gone. It just disappeared. It's a war wound.
Very strange.
This whole casualty of the freaking of the courtroom. Man,
this is very weird.
All of this is weird. Okay, let me pull the article back up. I was just looking at that. I was like, wait a minute. What is going on with that picture there? Oh my God, so much weird. Okay, here we go. Let me zoom this bad daddy. 11-minute read. Whoa, she's actually popping out more, huh?
Mm-hmm. Didn't she go from 8 minutes to, or 7 minutes to 8 minutes? Now we're up to 11 minutes. She's just going on and on.
Yeah, well, she's just going nuts out there. Let's see.
Lord, help us.
Picture this. You ready for this? Picture this. A glowing advertisement for a pregnancy test. The suspense builds. As a woman, eyes wide with hope, waits for the two magical lines to appear. The moment they do, her life transforms instantly. Tears of joy, uncontrollable laughter, and exclamations of, "We're pregnant!" filled the air. It's a universal scene, depicting the profound impact of a positive pregnancy test on those longing for a child. Oh my God. We're getting, her last one, you weren't there. That one was bad enough. How she just kept going back to that.
I still haven't gone over that on my channel because I have too much to do. I'm leaving so that the mouse can financially art me at Disney World tomorrow. I'm walking directly into an assault situation. So I have to pack and get ready for that. I have to pack all my gear so I'm ready for it.
It's like walking into a limb shredder. You're like, no, for your wallet. You're like, God, no, please save
God,
me.
no. Just take all my money, okay, Mouse? Just take it. Take my money. Don't hurt me. Just don't hurt me.
It just kills me how much that stuff costs, man.
Oh, God, it's insane. It's insane. I'm bracing for it.
Yeah, it's the most magical place on earth. I'm like, it ain't magical. It's powered by my money. Come on, baby.
It is very magical. It's really magical how they can make you broke in a week.
Yeah, it's magical how it runs on my tears, and I'm supposed to be, oh no, I'm crying through the pain.
Yep.
So, now flip the script. Imagine a teenager trembling as they reveal a positive pregnancy test to their parents. Is the response ever a casual? It's no big deal. Go back to your homework. Absolutely. Why would a parent like say that if your teenager got pregnant?
I don't know. I don't know what point she's trying to make.
Well, I mean, oh my God, who knows? Who knows? But I can't even imagine like a teenager getting pregnant and you know, being a parent being like, that's okay, kids. Go back and do your math, No.
Go back to your video games.
I mean, jeez. This universal acknowledgement of the gravity of of a positive pregnancy test is what companies like First Response, Clear Blue, EPT, and AccuClear thrive. Wait, why do they thrive?
What?
Do they thrive?
What? Is she writing marketing for them? Is this a marketing pitch? Are we doing is she writing a commercial? That's what it sounds like. She's imagining commercials for pregnancy tests, and I have no idea why that's why they thrive. What's why they thrive? What?
I guess she's trying to say the horror of the flip the script, I suppose.
What?
I think that's what it's supposed to say. I'm not really sure.
Doesn't make sense.
Maybe instead of vomiting out 5 Medium articles, you could make one that actually doesn't sound like shit. That's just an idea. The absurdity of the ruling. That's a weird segue, too. How do we segue from this to... Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Judge Julie Ann Mata of Maricopa County Superior Court seems to think that a positive pregnancy test doesn't mean what the rest of the world thinks it does. She thinks it doesn't mean you're pregnant.
No. She thinks it could mean you're pregnant, but it could also mean that you injected yourself with some shit so you pee positive. In your case,
awesome.
Laura. Not in everybody's case, just your case, because you're an admitted perjurer. You're an admitted doctorer of medical records. You doctored an HCG test. So the judge has no reason to believe that your pee stick HCG tests aren't doctored as well.
What's awesome is I named this, I put in Target's judge and father because I was going to go back to the original Medium article I still haven't read.
I know.
And what do we get? Target and the judge again. I feel like I got out the magic 8 ball online and asked it, will she target the judge today?
Fault. It's the judge's fault, Todd. All of this is her fault. None of this is my fault. She is the one who has decided that I'm wrong. It's
Always the
wrong.
judge.
It's the judge. It's her fault.
Sorry.
I'm just reading some of this. It's just so dumb. Despite my providing the court with multiple at-home tests, a urine pregnancy test done at an urgent care facility, and even a blood test pregnancy done at a lab, all which came back positive, Judge Mata, in essence, dismissed all of this evidence as meaningless.
Not in essence, she did.
Yep. And why did she do that? Well, it's because of other things like doctoring. Yeah, that Planned Parenthood thing hit anything she said like a nuclear bomb. It destroyed every other thing that she said.
Yep. Not credible, incredible, and uncreditable, which means of ignoble character, which I will never forget.
Trifecta.
She found you to be of ignoble character. Holy shit, lady. It's time to sit down and be quiet.
Well, this glue sniffer here, I mean, who would have thought that if you go in and you lie and you make up a story while you're on the stand, changing your story yet again, the judge might not believe you? Oh, I don't know. But in addition, here's our wonderful, wonderful McCool. In addition, a renowned OBGYN who delivered 22 million babies.
22 million babies.
Billion babies. He's like, I delivered the whole planet plus more. You're like, all right, you get it. In his career.
All right.
He said he testified with a 99.9% certainty that I was pregnant. Despite this, the judge decided to believe the 0.1% chance that I was testing positive for other reasons. Actually, no, the judge decided to negate what the guy you paid to come in and say you were pregnant, what he said completely. She didn't buy into the 0.1%. She bought into the, I believe 100% that Laura Owens is a liar.
Yep.
So she suggested possibilities such as ovarian cancer, which I've never had, medications I'm on, which the OBGYN expert confirmed wouldn't cause false positives, an HCG trigger shot, which I've never taken, and there was no evidence to suggest otherwise. If 99.9% certainty...
There's no evidence for? Pregnancy,
exactly. Well, there was no evidence to say...
confirmed medical proof of pregnancy. That's the other thing there was no evidence for, Laura.
Well, she owned herself. Again, the judge started asking about Planned Parenthood. The judge was like, what could have happened there? Could you have gotten drugs that tested a certain way, Laura? We don't really know. So, no. I mean, if you're going to say that you went somewhere and we don't really know why you went there, and you defy a judge saying, I don't want to turn over those records, yeah, they could come to the conclusion that you did something really fucked up there if it exists. I love that. Actually, I'd never thought of the judge doing that, to be honest. I never thought the judge would go that way. But I love it. If 99.9% certainty isn't enough, what is? I speak more about this in another piece I wrote. We'll do a flashback to that. I don't know, it depends on how to take it. When judges play doctor. God, man, she's so crazy. After a doctor confirmed that I had miscarried, they didn't actually confirm she miscarried. They confirmed that she wasn't pregnant.
It was self-reported. She said she miscarried, but she told this OBGYN that she saw on November 14th that she had this spotting or what. They never witnessed any of it.
Right.
So all they could say was that she was no longer pregnant.
Yep,
and
that's
she
exactly it.
Reported that she was. By the way, Tug, I can only stay till we're done with this article, but then I want to drop in the private chat for you. Reality Steve had a live stream the other night, and I'm going to put the timestamp in there for you. Okay. One of the former bachelorette's husbands is a Maricopa County prosecutor, and he is on this. He's on the last part of it, and it's very interesting, and you might want to go over it.
It sounds fun.
His name is Humberto Preciado, and he is actually a prosecutor in that court. He knows these people, and he has some very good insight about what the judge's ruling means. And he also has some hilarious things to say about David Gingras. You're going to love this interview, by the way. Love it.
You know what? I do love this case. I kind of do. I kind of do. And I don't think it'll ever be over because these people will never hit. I mean, honestly, I don't think Laura will stop. And even, people are like, jail, that'll end it. I don't think she'd stop after jail. I don't.
No, but that would be fun to watch her, to see her in an orange jumpsuit. I would really enjoy that.
Oh my God! It would look like one of those sheaths you put around an umbrella or something, because she's so stuck. She looks like a fucking stick
swimming
figure.
in it.
Yeah, she's hula hooping in it.
Oh my God!
Oh, but after the doctor confirmed I miscarried. My bad. That's terrible. there was no longer a need for the paternity case that I'd filed last August. I tried to dismiss it last December, which the judge granted, but then rescinded her ruling.
No, that's not exactly accurate. I mean, we don't really need to get into the details, but that's not. She didn't actually rescind it. She didn't. She granted part and she denied part, and and so that it was never a rescinding.
Right. I mean, it's so strange. I would think she was trying to talk to people that didn't know anything about this case, but she keeps saying everything is for the JFC cult,
Yeah,
like
we
this
don't know
one.
all this.
I mean, it's nuts because she's arguing with people that already know that all this stuff is wrong. So I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck she's doing here, but it's entertaining. After extensive motions were filed and a brief evidentiary hearing on June 10th, her ruling came down on June 18th. Sanctions, attorney fees, despite neither the alleged father nor I being represented by lawyers at the time. I filed to withdraw my petition to establish paternity and a referral to Maricopa County Attorney's Office.
What? Despite neither the alleged father nor I being represented by lawyers at what time? They were represented by lawyers a lot of the time.
She's saying she wasn't represented when the withdrawal when she withdrew her petition to establish. Yeah.
Yes, she was. She had an attorney. Clayton had an attorney for the harassment case, but he didn't have one for the paternity at the time. But she did. So that's not true either.
She's been lawyered up for a long time.
What would that have to do with
that has nothing to do with it.
What does that have to do with the price of rice in China? Nothing.
I like that she's talking about this right here, though. This is funny. This is how you talk yourself into a jail cell. Why? Well, according to the ruling, petitioner acted unreasonably when she initiated litigation without basis or merit. Furthermore, the court found my actions unreasonable and uncreditable due to my failure to seek in-person care for a high-risk pregnancy.
Yep, because a reasonable person who has a high-risk pregnancy would seek actual obstetric care. That's what a reasonable person would do, especially a person who has as much money as she does, as much money and resources. It is unreasonable to not seek care for a high-risk pregnancy, Laura. It is unreasonable to keep jumping horses with a high-risk pregnancy, Laura. It is unreasonable to pass SACS in July and still file a paternity case in August. That is unreasonable. And I don't know why we have to keep telling her this. Why am I yelling?
Because you're like, oh my God, can you not hear this insanity woman?
I have not been able to stream about this without screaming for days now. And I find myself, everyone's like, would you calm down?
I got really worked up that's why.
Breathing.
That's why I'm telling you, why I need to only smoke cigars during this mess. It's because it keeps me centered and doing something else.
I'm going to get a drink. I'll be right back. The chat is reminding me I need to calm down. I'm going to go get a drink.
I'll hit the 4 or 5 super chats that rolled in, and you go get that drink and we'll continue.
All right, I'm going.
Okay. Laura Owens, thanks for the 2 there. Humming. Humming is how this all started. Yeah, I think they put an ER on that, not an ING, though. I think it's Hummer. But, close enough, right? Laura Owens also thanks for the 5. It's an 11-minute read if you're inside House of Prime Rib. Very noisy, distracting. The House of Prime Ribs. Mazza, thanks for 2. So the first paragraph, she desperately wanted a child. Actually, this first paragraph, I've got to remember I'm still here. This first paragraph, it's even weirder because it's not really about her. She's saying, this is what a universal scene looks like. Oh yeah, we're having a baby, joy, rapture, everything else. She seems to be telling me not that she wants a baby, but she wants this scene. She wants somebody when she's like, we're pregnant after a one-night stand with two doses of oral. to be like, yay, that's the greatest thing ever, you know, and that would be absolutely horrible, because you're talking about a life bond with a stranger, if it were true. But unfortunately, well, we know that that's not true. So I don't think she's saying she wants pregnancy. I think she wants somebody jumping up and down for joy, enough to sign that freaking that contract with her, which is mental when you think about it. And Winks thinks of the 20 there. The photos have been changed again, like suspected. JFC crew just did a side-by-side and overlay. Wild stuff. So they've been changed up yet again. I'm not surprised. I figured they'll change up. I told people after she lost in this courtroom that it didn't matter what kind of judgment that she got. It didn't matter what happened, that she would just go ballistic afterwards. It's fascinating to see her lawyer join in the fray with all the weird admissions and basically, I dare you. You can't prosecute my client in Arizona. She's never going to jail. It's a dare. It's crazy to see. And Fallen Hero, thank you for that gifted membership too. I mean, like I said, this stuff is so nuts. When she goes through this as well, you notice she leaves out certain parts every time. She leaves out certain pieces of the decisions. Because if she left in everything the judge said, the judge didn't just say that it's unreasonable and uncreditable. The judge also said that this person is a serial fabricator. The judge looked at the preponderance of evidence and said, hey, when you look at all of this stuff, you take it all together, she lied. That's why she didn't believe the tests. Quite simply. I mean, she looked at it and again, flaunting the decisions, saying that you're not going to turn over anything. That's, saying that while you're on the stand in trial. Yeah, it's so strange. I'm going to continue. I'm going to run us up to here while Megan's away. So Judge Matta even verified the positive pregnancy test multiple times as quote-unquote facts in her quote-unquote findings of facts. How is my filing the case, quote, without basis or merit, or, quote, unreasonable?
Because nobody would file a case if they weren't actually pregnant or they thought they had miscarried. That's unreasonable, Laura. No one should be able to file a case for paternity if they haven't had their pregnancy verified through a HIPAA release through doctors. A verified pregnancy. Not an
there's a real problem.
Test.
There's a real problem in the courts that you can do what we saw. That is a gaping flaw in the court system where she could go in and she could essentially fake tests in order to push something forward.
And then do the thing that she did with the paternity test, like keep on saying, it's inconclusive. The test was diluted. I have to do another one. Little to no fetal DNA doesn't mean what you think it means. Come on.
That was so strange to see her do too. You know, she was basically trying to say, well, it had some. You know, that's the way I took what she was saying. Little to no. Well, it has little. You know, and it's like, oh, that's not what they're saying. They're saying right now
she's screwed. And I hope she does keep on doing this. Keep writing, Laura. Keep writing all this crap. Every single bit of this is going to be used by the county attorney to prosecute you. Keep doing it. I hope at this rate she's going to get life.
That would be amazing.
Life in prison.
She's like, well, in here, I met a nice, lovely prison guard, and we're having twins.
Oh, we're having twins.
Do you think we can get transferred to Iceland? You're like, no, I don't think they transfer. I don't think they'll transfer your case. Yeah. Oh my God.
I will never get over the mental picture as I'm listening to poor Mike Maricini. I don't know if you listened to the entire interview that I did with him, but I'm listening to him tell me about what it was like to be stuck on a plane with her to Iceland. And she's having an all-out temper tantrum meltdown, crying, screaming, where flight attendants had to come over and ask her to be quiet. And he goes and hides in the bathroom for 2 hours. Can you imagine sitting in an airplane toilet for 2 hours just to avoid the nightmare you're sitting next to? Good Lord.
I can imagine being in a relationship with somebody that, buys you like really expensive watches and takes you on stuff, and you still being like, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth this hell. Because it sounds like absolute hell.
Turned out the watch was a fake too, by the way.
Was it? I didn't. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna listen to. I wanted to give that interview plenty of time, and then I wanted to cover it. I wanted to talk about it and go through it. But I didn't want to take anything from it. In fact,
to do it.
Yeah, but I'm hoping now that it still picks up views, but after a week, how live streams are. I'm hoping to re-inject some people back into it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I had to take it down and edit out a couple of things that I thought she was going to try and use against him, and also I just wanted to take the live chat out, so it's now under videos on my. Yeah. I re-uploaded it, but it's too bad because it had a lot of momentum going, but I had to shut it down and restart because there's nothing she won't do to hurt Mike Maricini. And so anything that she can show a judge that doesn't have the facts of all of this in California, to try and say he violated his restraining order, she will do. She will. And it's terrible.
Wild. It's freaking wild to see. It's wild that courts, they never caught on. This one, it was still, for the longest time, it was a coin flip on whether or not they would catch on. We were all afraid of that. But furthermore, I'm going to hit this sentence and then, furthermore, the ruling declared my petition premature at best, even though there are no set standards for what constitutes a premature petition.
Well, there should be.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's fix that. The next thing we're going to do is have to contact your representatives in Arizona and get them to change that part of the code.
Yep, because that should not exist whatsoever.
It's so easy. Legal standards should be so easy. A verifiable by a doctor pregnancy. How hard is that? Standards
should not. They shouldn't benefit someone because of the gear between their legs either. It should be everyone is equal. We talk about that all the time. Everyone should be equal in the eyes of the law. But, most people don't think about somebody coming in and faking something like this, And
also, it's kind of funny that she's using the fact that they don't have any standards to excuse her behavior. Well, there's no standards. They don't have any standards. I can bring whatever I want because there's no standards. No, well, thanks for pointing out the glaring flaw in the system.
Well, it's kind of like a self-reflection. No standards for her. No standard. Oh, wait. The double standard. I guess there is a standard, right?
Good Lord, this woman.
She's crazy, man. To fully grasp the injustice of the... I have to say, I am not remote diagnosing her, by the way. Just to put that in there. Thank you. So to fully grasp the injustice of this ruling, consider how Arizona typically handles paternity cases. According to the Arizona revised statutes, blah, blah, a mother can file a paternity case based on her relief of the pregnancy, and no additional evidence is required.
Well, thanks to you, Laura. That's going to be shortly changed.
Yeah, thank you. You are setting precedents. Yep. Awesome. There's
already a movement on the ground of Maricopa residents who are lobbying their lawmakers to get this changed, to get that part of the law right there, that statute revised.
This should be federal, man. This should be federal.
It should be. You know what? Yeah. You're right. It should be a federal standard.
if you can start it somewhere and actually showcase that there was a need, that's how you get to your federal standard, you know? Because this case, I mean, it does. Laura has no idea that her case could go a long ways. They talk about appeals. Oh, yeah, you know, it can go a lot of ways. She could become the face for serial fabricator. She could become the face of it in front of, you know, federal rulings. That would be amazing.
Hilarious. That would be amazing. And by the way, you're going to love what that prosecutor has to say about appeals, about the appeals process, and also about the chances that this thing is going to get appealed. It's so fantastic.
You mean they don't agree with David Gingras?
No, unbelievably. And one of the best things he said, the prosecutor in Arizona, one of the best things he said was, you know, there are people sitting in jail right now who've been trying to get their case heard by the appellate court for years.
That's true.
And they've been sitting in jail like on a murder charge or whatever. And the appellate court's just like, nah, we're not going to hear it. You really think that they're going to hear this case, this family law case, so that has no problems in it? Like, no, they're not going to even hear it. It's not even going to be a matter of whether he wins or loses the appeal. It's going to be, will they even take it? And the chances of them taking it are so low.
Man, so David Gingras, super lawyer. He's not going to...
Hold on a second. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Oh, so amazing. If you can file while you're pregnant, which I did, this clearly shows the state's supportive approach rather than a punitive one. Again, like Megan pointed out there, all this points out here is a gaping flaw in the judicial system, one that hopefully gets remedied.
Sorry, I'm back.
Oh, you're good. I just finished that one sentence there, so it was all good. The Arizona Division of Child Support Services, DCSS website says, quote, if you are unsure of paternity, genetic testing may be needed to prove the identity of the father. DCSS will pay this cost until paternity is established.
God.
Oh my God, man.
It's one more thing to waste our tax dollars on. Why are we paying for people's paternity tests? Here, how about this, ladies? Here's an idea. Keep your legs together unless you're with the guy you want to be the father of your baby.
Can you accept my request for iMovie?
Why are you in here again? You know you have another parent, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, why don't you go ask him?
Can you accept it?
No. Close my door.
You know you have trois parents.
You know you have another parent, right?
That's
He's
right.
Not on a live stream right now.
My kids are up there. Like when I got ready to live stream, my oldest daughter came down here and she was like, "Dad, I got to tell you something." And I'm like, "What do you got to tell me?" She's like, "Is the mic muted?" And I was like, "Sure." She said, "Sissy's not cooperating with me." I was like, "You made me mute the mic and stop for that." Of course she's not cooperating. She's 4. You know?
Yeah, of course she's not cooperating.
Like, fine, you know, like, hey, you know, a little Muppets or whatever. You know, she'll be cooperative. She'll love it. Oh my God, it's funny listening to them.
I like how they just interrupt like you're not in the middle of anything. Like just come in with their request. Hey, can you do this? Whatever. Like, oh, do you not see? Hello.
I've tried to explain to. I'm like, you know, this is part of Dad's work too. You know, it
can
helps
explain
out.
that till you're blue in the face, but they still
I'm
don't
like,
get
it's part of the bills, and they're like, no, they interrupt like if I have if I have a conference meeting, you know, and I'm at home for some reason, I would take that. They're like, "Oh, the phone." I'm like, "That's not a phone to talk on. Let's not do that. I'll lock myself in the garage so, you know, the state's not listening to my kids."
God.
Okay, continue. Wait, so a woman can think, this might be this guy, but probably not. I can't really remember what we did because I was so drunk. What? This is holy shit.
How many people really go through that exactly? Like, is this like a real problem in America that people get so drunk they don't remember who they screwed?
Well, we saw that one lady that came out on TikTok and was like, "Hey, I'm averaging one body a day for the year." You know, it's like, yeah, maybe it is. Maybe
All
this
right,
is a problem. She said also, she hadn't been with anybody
a
for
sad way to
6
live.
months.
Just
It
saying,
is.
this is a sad way to live, folks. If this is how you're living your life, you might want to rearrange your priorities. But I'm not judging, just saying it's just maybe not the best way to live, to be
Well,
blackout
the one thing
drunk.
that scares me, disease-wise, 1 in 5, for sure. And, when you're talking about high-risk folks like this, it's probably more like 1 in 2,
It's scary.
Yeah, I mean, these people are like human petri dishes. Just don't, when in doubt, don't. But as many times as she wants and not be punished, the state will even pay the cost of testing until she gets it right.
Oh, God.
So accuse as many men as you want of being the father, and the state will be like, yeah, we'll sort your madness out.
I guarantee you that there's a cutoff for, income for that. You'd have to be low income for the state to pay for it. You can't go there as Laura Owens, whose daddy makes all this money and has, is worth $25 million or whatever, and get the state to pay for your anything. That's not going to happen. They're going to ask you to fill out an income form, and they only pay if you can't afford it. So that's silly.
It's a mess, though. So why am I being punished? That's what I ask
guilty.
myself sometimes.
Why am I being punished by having to report this case? That's what I want to know. Why are we being punished that we have to read this Medium article?
Side note to members of the media, I will send you my patient portal
not
login
again.
information so you can confirm
Not
for
again.
yourself that I was just in filing the
filing?
case.
Just in
Seriously.
Seriously. Listen, Laura, we've already seen this shit. You've given it out 1,000,000 times. If you want to send me your patient portal logins again, like if you want to keep saying, go ahead. I'm not going to find anything different than what you put into court, and it's all a bunch of bullshit.
Send me the name for Planned Parenthood.
Yeah,
That's
please
the
send
only
me
thing that will make me
the
look
name you
anything up.
used at Planned Parenthood and which exact Planned Parenthood you went to. And we will have, I bet Greg Woodnick will put in the HIPAA request and get those records, okay?
Yep. Yeah, we could do that, And I mean, that's the only way I'm going to look up anything else that's looking at this. Otherwise, and it's so funny. She thinks the members of the media are reading along. I've seen the articles from the members of the media, and they're like, she's guilty.
Yeah, they're not going to dig. We're the only people who care about the backstory because we know the backstory, but like Fox News isn't going to do shit. Like the Fox News isn't going to dig into the background of this. They're not going to read her Medium article. They're barely even going to talk to her, to David Gingras. By the way, Tug, did you know that Jimmy Jenkins has redeemed himself?
How's that?
Jimmy Jenkins at the Arizona Republic has written the second best article in this entire case. The first, of course, being mine. Yep. And his article, so I take back everything nasty I said about Jimmy Jenkins, not being at the case. He wrote, finally, after several days, the second best article that was written, including taking a huge swipe at Gingras. He burned him so bad. He quoted the part of the ruling that had Judge Mata saying that he was signaling to his client. It was fantastic. Really great work, Jimmy Jenkins at the Arizona Republic and USA Today. Good for you.
Good. About time, buddy. Come on. I'm glad you got it in there. Yeah.
Yep.
So the backstory. Let's backtrack a bit. I had a one-night stand with former Bachelor star Clayton Echard, who also happened to be my realtor.
One night stand. I take issue with her definition of that.
I'm just like, you want to imagine her one-night stand? It's like, imagine Pac-Man on a board gobbling up 2 power pellets. That's pretty much what that was her one-night stand. Waka waka. That's it.
Waka waka.
Yep, waka the waka.
Good Lord.
Oh, shit. Now I'm going to have that stuck in my head. Oh, my God. Interestingly, he was later found in violation by the Arizona Department of Real Estate for not submitting offers on 2 properties that he and me signed, totaling $1.1 million. But that's yet another Medium article that I've already read.
And also, they found him in violation, but they didn't punish him. And that was because they read all her crazy emails and decided, oh my God, release that McCracken. Hawk to it times 2.
Hawk to it. I don't think she hawked to it, you know. We had the babies in the tonsil pouch.
Oh God, Hawk to it times 2.
That, I cannot believe. I saw a person get the Hawk to a girl tattooed on their arm.
I'm hoping that was AI.
Oh, I bet
saw
it was
that too.
real. I bet it was real. I saw it. I bet it was real.
Oh,
Because people,
gross.
I mean, they put every other meme on themselves. So.
My favorite meme is the one, the one with the guy walking down the street with the girl and he's looking at the other girl.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, they made the meme of that motherfucker is not real girl walking with him and he's looking at Hawk to a girl.
That's
That's
funny.
so perfect.
That's hilarious.
That's so perfect.
That motherfucker back there is not real.
So it was her on one side and then Hawk Tua on the other. Oh God, it was funny.
That freaking Hawk to it then. I was like, man, it's taking the internet by storm. It's such a low bar for people.
Such a low bar to go viral these days. Although I will say that she was really cute. I mean, she had a real cuteness about her, and then she said those outrageous things, and it was like, oh my God. I think maybe that's why it took off, was because she looked so sweet, and then she said those things.
I think too, like we see so many of those sidewalk interviews and the people are just full of vitriol, so much hate. So seeing somebody that just was like, hey, just get in there and Hawk 2 on that bad daddy. Like, oh, okay.
She was funny. I'll give her that. She was adorable and hilarious. I mean,
I
if
still
she
can't
were my
imagine.
daughter, though, I'd crawl under a rock. Just saying. If that were my daughter, I would be like, she's not going on the Christmas card next year.
Yeah, for real.
I'm photoshopping her out of the Christmas card.
Her daddy was like, what the what now?
What the what? Oh.
What the no what no? Oh. Okay, I did not want to become pregnant at all. I don't believe that. Not for a second. I think
either.
that's, somebody mentioned by the way, in a super chat, they said at the beginning, she wants to be pregnant. And I was like, no, I think she's wanting somebody that embraces the madness, which doesn't make sense. One night stand, you get pregnant and they're going to celebrate and say, yeah, we're pregnant. Man, what kind of fucked up world would that be?
Crazy.
I told him, after he invited me to his apartment late one night in May 2023, that I would come over and cuddle, but that I did not want to have sex. I don't believe that, Megan. I
don't believe it either.
I don't. A couple of weeks after a positive pregnancy test at an urgent care facility, Clayton again invited me to his apartment, this time under false pretenses, telling me he just wanted to talk. In reality, he wanted me to take a pregnancy test that he bought in front of him. I took it, and it was positive. I think she did something weird. I actually believe Clayton when she was like, I've got a shy bladder. I've got to go pee behind this door. And he allowed it because, he was like, I mean, how are you supposed to address that, really?
Look, he hasn't lied to us once. He told us about the real estate thing. He told us about, violating his fiduciary duty. He told us about everything. Why would he lie about the one thing of her going behind the closed door?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. She's the one who's lied about everything. Clayton hasn't lied. He told us what he did.
It wouldn't have changed the story in any way whatsoever because, again, it's a urine test, and all the urine tests were being questioned, So that would have mattered nothing. A couple of weeks after the positive pregnancy test. Oh, well, I read that already. My bad. His reaction? Devastated. Of course. He was like hell to the no.
Yeah.
He leaned over on his counter, head in his hands.
Oh,
Poor
poor
Clayton. God, man. I hate that. She's like, what's funny though is, again, this is why she gave that description at the beginning. Because she imagined in her head that he would be like, yes, we're pregnant. Yeah, I will sign your dating contract.
How ridiculous.
This wasn't the behavior.
Yeah, keep going.
This wasn't the behavior of someone who believed the test meant nothing.
She hangs her hat on the fact that he believed her at one point, and like that matters. Clayton's belief, whether she was pregnant or not, doesn't prove she was pregnant.
You know how many people...
whether it doesn't matter if he believed her or not.
How many people have we read about that have believed that someone was a Nigerian prince selling them gold? It didn't make it not a scam, right?
Right. It doesn't make it not a scam.
Yeah. I mean, that's a ridiculous
And she
talking
keeps saying it like, well, he believed it. So what? Just because he might have believed it for 5 minutes doesn't mean Judge Mata has to believe it in a court of law.
It's because they believe that we're all glue-sniffing morons like Dangerous. I mean...
Yeah,
no.
That guy. That guy.
There's not enough glue in the world.
That guy.
Well, she also said in one of her articles, at the end of it, she said, if I was paying you guys, essentially you would take my side if I offered you double what you were making in super chats. She actually put that in an article, by the way.
What did it say?
She said if she was, we monetize this stuff, but she bet if she paid us double what we were making, that we would change our tune and back her.
Right. I never responded to that. Laura, no, I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take your dirty money.
I set down my rules.
Money.
I set down my rules.
Chambers
Your lawyer's got
to get a tramp stamp.
Yes, and it's got to be of that umbrella guy with a grill.
And then he will change sides. But I, on the other hand, never said anything of the sort. I will not do it. Not for $1 million. I will not tell you a liar's story. You're a liar. You're a liar and a cheat. You're a perjurer. You're a fabricator. And I want nothing to do with you. Ever. It's just, no, I wouldn't take your money. I wouldn't take your dirty, gross money. Absolutely not.
You know how upset I was when he didn't follow through with my tramp stamp? I was so sad.
Your tramp stamp proposition?
You know what would have been awful if he really did it? I'd been like, oh shit, what do I do now? That was a verbal contract.
Well, then you would have to sarcastically support her.
She's totally telling the truth, Megan. You can tell. I mean, geez. There's not enough horse piss in the world. I mean, how much horse piss can a stick figure drink?
Yeah, you didn't promise him what kind of support you would give.
Exactly. Totally.
Yeah, you just said you would switch sides.
That would have been the weirdest thing in the world. He'd be like, I'm unveiling my tramps. I'll be like, holy shit, he did it.
Holy shit, he did it. God, I would love that.
Oh, it would have been funny, man. Oh my God. I actually probably would die on the stream. You'd probably hear me laugh until I fell out of my chair and be wheezing. I'd be like, help me, Megan. I think it's asthma. It's the asthma.
Hey, however, I just saw on the news, there's a breaking story. The Turtle Boy was assaulted outside of the Karen Reed trial. I saw
that, actually. Yeah, I saw the picture of that. Yeah, they pulled up and yeah, they went after him. It was kind of wild.
Who was it?
It was one. I don't know these people, man. It's like
did they get arrested?
I don't know if they got arrested. I just saw the video.
To break up a fight. That's so bizarre. Huh. Okay.
They go hard at him, man. I mean, they go hard at him. I don't
know enough about his involvement in the case. I just know that he's been advocating for Karen Reed, and
he's been in their face. I mean,
he's definitely crossed some lines I wouldn't cross as a journalist. But that doesn't mean he can't do it. He's got his free speech. He can protest and stuff.
Well, they've talked about putting him in jail for a long time.
They did put him in jail. They did. They arrested him.
Yeah, but they've talked about, we're gonna potentially put you in jail for a lot longer. So it's, that I wouldn't want that held over my head, man. I just Jesus. No. That case is absolutely insane anyway. And I'm not saying anything Turtle Boy I don't know enough on that. I'm just saying that is
no. The case
wild.
Is crazy. I don't think she did it. I think, and even if she did do it, the Commonwealth did not prove its case in any way. No. There's you could not. The standard of beyond a reasonable doubt is so far from being met in that case. If that jury doesn't take less than an hour to come out with not guilty, I'm going to be very disappointed. And can you believe the defense rested in 7.5 hours?
I know. I was like, what are you doing?
Well, because the Commonwealth has no case.
I
They
know,
just
but still.
dragged it out and dragged it out and dragged it out.
You could have destroyed them. I would have taken nuclear bomb after nuclear bomb.
I haven't actually seen the defense's full case yet, so I'm still catching up. So I don't know what my thoughts are on their strategy, but we'll see.
Well, if it works, we'll see the decision too. When that comes in, you'll know if it was a good decision or not.
Yeah.
However, though, according to what Clayton said in his deposition, quote, the box said it was a pregnancy test. And that, quote, that's what they marketed for people who are truthful and don't lie about being pregnant.
Yeah. That was a good answer, by the way, in his deposition. And there she is linking his deposition, by the way, if you want to see him say it. It's right there. She keeps doing that. And she's the only one, by the way, that's released deposition footage.
Yep.
And I think that's pretty interesting, Laura, because, your deposition's out there, too. Do you want your deposition released online? Because you've released portions of Clayton's, and you don't seem to have any problem doing that. And you did it before trial. And now that it's after trial, Clayton's team could release your entire deposition with no problem. And I hope they do.
It's just wild and crazy. I mean, really, you don't see people typically acting like this.
No.
Most people, especially these types of trials, you don't see people act like this at all.
Right.
Wait a minute. A pregnancy test that Clayton himself purchased gave a positive result, but it wasn't accurate because I was supposedly lying and the test somehow detected that. Makes sense.
That's not what anybody thinks, Laura.
Yeah,
that you were lying and the test detected your lies? No.
Yes, I do. I think it was built-in lie detector plus pregnancy test. That's exactly how I took it.
What we believe is that you test positive, and you did test positive at that time for some reason unrelated to pregnancy. I don't know what that reason is. You do. But that's what we think.
I have this theory. I believe that there was a window in the bathroom, and I think our mom was standing out there with a bucket of horse piss, and she dipped it in while no one was paying attention.
Through the window.
Yep.
That would be so funny. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. The mental picture of that is so funny. With her mom standing outside Clayton's bathroom with a horse.
They just had the horse pee on it. It's like...
Clayton goes outside later and steps in this big puddle and is of horse piss and is like, what the hell is that? Where'd that come from?
Did it rain earlier? What's going on? Man, the rain around here stinks. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I feel like I'm playing some twisted version of Clue now. It was her mom outside the window with a horse. You win the game. You're like, how the fuck did I just win?
I need my coconuts to clop together. There's the sound effects. Oh, damn it.
Oh my God. Why I filed the case. Give me a second. Okay, professional. I'm going to go. Give me a second. Okay, got it. After Clayton, I can't. Okay, I got it. Third time's a charm.
Wait.
After Clayton saw the result for himself, he texted me. I said he tested me. Shit.
Oh.
He texted me.
Awkward.
Exactly. He tested me. He texted me the next morning to say that he knew I wasn't a liar. Then he made it clear that he had no intention of co-parenting, which is what I wanted. I wanted nothing from him besides that. No money, nothing. Just a plan to figure out scheduling, because he had said I would have to give up the pregnancy for adoption, have an abortion, or one of us would take 100% custody. We're going to pretend the dating contracts don't exist, right?
I actually think that he never said that. He said she would take 100% custody. He never agreed to take custody. He said she would, or like he was just, you know, batting around ideas on if this is true, I'm not going to raise a kid with you. So here's the options, you know?
Yeah, he's like, hey, oh my God, no. This person, no way.
Yeah.
Miss 500 texts, 13 phone numbers, During his deposition earlier this year, he said, quote, I told her I'd give her a chance so that I could try to find a way to potentially end the situation. Yeah. He's like, I told her what she wanted to hear because she's batshit crazy. Let me interpret that for you. There you go. Oh, my God. My former attorney then asked, quote, you would give her a chance in regard to you two, or the two of you having a relation? Clayton responded, yes. It was a lie. I had no intention of giving her a chance. I was just basically going to tell her what she wanted to hear to see if she'd go away. That's exactly what.
Oh, once you're caught in, you know, the clutches of a con artist, you'll say anything to try and get out of it. I don't fault him for that.
No.
At all, in any way. I think he's justified in saying anything he needed to say to her to get the hell out of there.
She's an abuser. She is mentally abusing people. You will do anything. You will placate. You go to extremes to placate abusers sometimes, just so they'll stop. And I mean, that's exactly what people are doing. Please stop. You know, and that's what a lot of these people have done. You can't fault them. But when pressed further by my former attorney, quote, and what you mean by that is to see if she would move forward with an abortion, Clayton's reply was chillingly simple. Yeah.
What's chilling about that?
That's what she is offering with dating contracts.
That's what she offered. That was her deal. So if he takes it, it's chilling. If he takes her deal, that's chilling. I'm sorry, Laura, you don't know how any of this works. And this is so bad for her, Tug. This is so bad for her. Go back up. If I am the county prosecutor, holy shit. Holy shit. If I'm the county prosecutor, I'm looking at that and I'm like, this woman is diabolical.
Yeah.
And here she is admitting it in her own words. I mean, I'm shocked by this. I keep it up, Laura. Keep it up. You're going to talk yourself right into a jail cell, and I'm going to laugh when it happens.
Yep.
I actually didn't think there was any chance she would go to jail when this first happened. And the more she talks, the more I think that she is going to piss off. She is going to piss off a judge in this county so bad that they're going to throw the book at her if she doesn't stop this.
When they went after the judge's father, I thought that's the way you end up in a jail cell.
This is a problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
So why, quote unquote, went public with the case? I went public with the case because Clayton refused to respond to my repeated attempts to get him to take. Yeah, exactly.
Guess what? All she had to do was wait until she had that baby. And then she could go to the court and get a court-ordered paternity test on him. And the court would send a sheriff to his door and serve him. And he would be required to submit to a DNA test. That's all she had to do. He didn't have to respond to her. They never had to speak for that to happen. And the only reason why she filed this ridiculous, litigious bullshit is because she wanted his attention. She wanted him to talk to her. Hence, the motion to compel communication, which isn't even a real thing, by the way.
Well, she doesn't say I went forward. She says I went public.
Mm-hmm.
She went to the media with this. So, yeah, you're right. She was trying to force a response from him.
A forced response.
Yeah. I had paid for the test on August the 15th, but despite my efforts to schedule it, he never complied, and it had to be canceled.
Oh, she's sticking to this false story. See, Clayton's story is that he went to go, and he called them, telling him he was on his way, and they said that it's been canceled. Yeah. He didn't cancel it. She did.
Well, I mean, there's so many lies already. Why not adopt another one, right? And another one.
I can't believe she's putting this in writing out there.
I know, because she's hammered in her story. I mean, that's the thing. She has locked herself into so many items that there's no wiggle room around.
Terrible.
And she also doesn't, after being caught here, you would think that she would want to fade into the background for a while so people would forget about it, not to make the noise louder. Maybe she likes the fame. Maybe she likes this because, right now she's got everyone's attention. So, hey. She doesn't realize that beats the prosecutor, too. During his deposition, Clayton acknowledged the attempts to contact him for the paternity test, but suggested that they might have been calling a wrong number, although he clearly CC'd on an email sent by me on August the 18th, stating, "Unfortunately, Clayton Echard has refused to take the prenatal paternity test that I scheduled at Exam 1 in Phoenix on Wednesday, August 23rd. He saw this email, but did not respond. After I went public, my suspicions were confirmed. The publicity compelled Clayton to respond." There it is, compelling the response, just like you said.
Mm-hmm.
On September the 21st, he shared, quote unquote, the receipts on his Instagram saying, "This is the timeline. The truth will always set you free," in an effort to make it look like he had been cooperating all along. That was not the case. Oh my God. Crazy man. The high-profile influence. It seems clear to me that Judge Matta would not have allowed this case to go on if Clayton had not been a former Bachelor
ridiculous.
star.
That's ridiculous.
Well, she's
what
going
evidence
back.
does she have of that? I'm not even sure Judge Matta knew what the Bachelor is. There was no talk, hardly any talk of what it was. That wasn't an issue in this case at all. His being a Bachelor, it wasn't part of the case.
Well, she's used to other men and what happened there. That's what she's basing, because she's always been in the driver's seat. She's always got to determine how this would go forward. So she's like, it went forward. There must be a conspiracy against me. Not that you loaded the deck with a lot of evidence against you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If we were both jobless and poverty-stricken, I have no doubt that she would have let me dismiss the case after I miscarried, which is what I asked for.
Hey, not if the opposing party filed a motion to stop you. If the opposing party filed a motion to stop you from dismissing it and they made a cogent, reasonable argument, she would have done the exact same thing, because that's what a judge does. A judge looks at the arguments in front of her and she decides which one has merit and which one doesn't. And guess what? Dingus couldn't write a motion that she could grant if his life depended on it. His middle name should be denied.
Denied. Sit down.
This man cannot write a motion that a judge will approve or grant, because he's just not good at it. So this is ridiculous. She doesn't understand how court works. It doesn't matter how much money you make in a case like this. If your attorney, now, if you were both poverty stricken, you didn't have attorneys and you didn't know to file for non-paternity and file a motion to stop you from dismissing the case, well then, yeah, maybe she would have dismissed it, because a judge needs a motion in front of her in order to act. If there is no motion in front of her, then all she can do is rule on the motion that is in front of her. So if you filed the motion to dismiss and there's no response, well, then she probably would have dismissed it. But if the other party files a response and says no, and here's why, well, then she's going to make her ruling based on what she thinks the evidence shows, period.
What a bunch of nuts, man. I mean, seriously, she's so crazy. Once I lost the pregnancy, there was no longer a paternity issue to resolve and no parenting plan necessary. But because Clayton had a high-profile status, Judge Matta seemed determined to drag this out.
Oh, she's the one who was dragging the case out, the judge?
Exactly.
The judge, Laura, she dragged the case? Really? Laura, why didn't you dismiss this case when you found out in October that your HCG levels did not support a pregnancy? That's when you should have filed to dismiss based on the fact that you had the negative test. So no. You dragged it out. Who didn't show up for her deposition? Was that Judge Mata? Oh, no. That was Laura Owens.
Yep. Oh, my God. But, this is all this is an attack portion on the judge, because now it's going to go after family. Adding another bizarre twist to this ordeal, I later learned that Judge Mata's father attended the evidentiary hearing, allegedly mingling with Clayton's supporters in the overflow room and describing the case as a shit show and a circus. Now,
by the way, that's my word. Those were my words. Shit show is my word. What I originally heard was circus, and then I misreported it as shit show. So if he was there and if he did say anything, it wasn't shit show, because that was my wording. It could have been circus if he was there and if he commented, but it wasn't shit show. That was me just misremembering what I heard.
This too, mingling with, you mean going to the overflow room?
You mean talking to people? Like, you're allowed, judges families are allowed to talk to people.
But everybody's going to the overflow room. It's not the public's fault that nobody believes her ass. So, if they're like Clayton's supporters, well, yeah, that's because
that was the only people who were there.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, the only people who showed up at the court were Clayton's supporters.
Because he's supporting this crazy woman.
There were some looky-loos, like, who just were in the courthouse that day and decided they wanted to see what all the fuss was about. I know there was at least one lawyer who was wandering around and talking to people, like, what's going on? What is this? So there could have been some of those, but nobody showed up on her side. So there was no place for the judge's dad to sit if he was there at all. I don't even know if he was there, you guys. Like, honest to God, I do not know. It was a rumor I heard. I repeated a rumor that I heard. That is not verifiable in any way. I don't know if he was there. I don't even know. There could have been just some crackpot who said he was Judge Mata's dad. Right? It could have been anybody. And her and her lawyer are using it like some kind of,
gotcha.
Yeah. And it could be nothing.
If that's all you got that you can lean on is hoping that somebody's father showed up, not looking at what you presented and saying, oh, there's a flaw here. You got some weak ass appeal. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
But it's hard to comprehend that my pregnancy loss was reduced to a sideshow spectacle for anyone, let alone a member of the judge's family.
Some in the chat are asking if this is the new article. Yes, folks.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yep.
Brand new one that Laura Owens wrote today.
Yes. I swear, though, oddly enough, Judge Mata ruled against me. Just hours after my attorney, David Gingras, informed her office of our intent to file a motion. Actually, that's not what he said. He didn't say there was an intent to file a notice.
He sent an email. And he also said that he actually doesn't intend to file a notice for change of judge because he didn't think that his arguments held any water. He said that. He said, if I thought the law would support it, I would file. But he never did. Not that I've seen. Is it on the docket?
He wrote a judge privately. That's very
Which is not allowed.
Bizarre.
And the court wrote back to him and said, the court's assistant anyway, wrote back to him and said, we prefer a motion. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for playing, but,
They could have been a lot harsher with that. They could have actually been a lot harsher with that.
He's ridiculous.
He knows better. He fucking knows better.
But the reason why he did that, it was purposeful. You see? He knew he couldn't file the change of judge motion. He knew the law didn't support it. He said so in his own blog. So instead of doing that, he files he sends an email where he hints that he might be filing that, and he wants to hear from the judge first. And then the judge doesn't respond to him. And so now he can say, oh, she came out with her ruling just because I sent that email and she was trying to get around it. Do you see? This is all part of his slimy, shitty strategy to make her look bad.
Which they're saying in here. It seems too coincidental that such a ruling, almost entirely in Clayton's favor, would come hours after we signaled our lack of confidence in her impartiality. She wrote those 19 pages just like that, right?
This is a guy for whom the gutter is not low enough. Whatever's
Well, maybe a
beneath
jail
the
cell would be
gutter,
a nice place.
whatever's beneath the gutter, that's where he dwells.
Well, maybe it runs off right into a jail cell. Maybe that's the thing.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be really nice.
Right to jail, right away.
Justice for Clayton and its influence. Soon after the public learned about the paternity test, the Justice for Clayton movement emerged online. Since September, thousands of hours of content.
Did you say September?
September. That's what I said.
Is that the French way to pronounce
I
September?
have no idea what the fuck.
September.
September.
September. Oh my God. That's really funny.
Thousands of, oh shit, I'm getting laughing again.
Jingua. September.
Jingwa. Gangwas.
Yubtwa. Yubtwa. Law tube twas.
Tube
Hawk
twas. Thousands of hours of content from obsessed wannabe YouTube stars and
Wait a
law
minute.
tubers.
I
Who are the
take
law
a-
tubers?
I take a exception to that. I am not a wannabe YouTube star. I am an actual YouTube star. Thank you very much. I don't think I'm a wannabe YouTube star. I mean, I pay my mortgage with my YouTube breadstick money. That's kind of a successful YouTuber, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. And if you too would like me to pay my mortgage with
Make sure you send that breadstick money.
Exactly.
Breadstick money.
Man, I wonder what makes you a real YouTube star then. Like,
Yeah, what do you have to do to be a real YouTube star? Do I have to pay my mortgage and I don't know, the school tuition? Do I have to pay for private school and my mortgage?
Did you know statistically, here's a fun little statistic, making it over 300,000 subscribers, you statistically have a better chance of making it into the NBA draft. So, I mean, you know, I'm like, well, I statistically, am I still a wannabe or what is this, you know?
Yeah, I don't think you're a wannabe when you're doing it full time. At some point, it moves on from wannabe. I don't know what else you would call me. I've had a YouTube channel for over a decade. I don't think the YouTubers who don't make it keep their channels for a decade. Do they? Don't people give up before then if it's not working out?
Not just
Actually,
that.
I would just like to say a special thank you, by the way, to all of my subscribers who have made it possible for me to pay my mortgage with my YouTube money. That's amazing to me. Thank you.
Indeed, that's amazing. It is actually. It feels good to have people back you doing independent journalism and have you again like people who want to be quote unquote YouTube stars. They chase every trend possible. And there's nothing wrong with that. They can do that. No hate on them. But, if you wanted to cover cases, you just hit the next high profile. This kind of case is an important case, in my opinion.
And it wasn't high profile. It was low profile. But guess what happened, Tug? What happens every time I decide to take on a case? You know what happened? It went viral, Tug. Guess who's reporting on it now? Fox News.
Foxy News? Actually, there's a lot of places.
There's a lot of them. Guess who else?
Fox.
Perez Hilton. Guess who else? U.S. Weekly and People Magazine. You know what? I just got to say, and props to Dave and Steve, too, because they did a ton of work here. But, that's one of the things that I'm really good at is to take, and this is my goal, by the way. People are always emailing me like, how come they don't mention you in these articles? That's really frustrating. Not to me, it's not. Because those of you who've been watching me and the stories that I'm talking about, you know where it came from. I don't need them to recognize it, and they never will, by the way, those big time media.
Because you're the competition there. I mean,
they like to pretend like I don't exist. But I find a lot of pleasure in making a story that I have been covering, making the mainstream media actually report it. So if I've been covering it and hammering it, and by the way, Google results don't lie. When you go back and you look up this case and you go to the earliest writing on it, the earliest reports, they're all going to be mine. It's all going to be Dave Neal's. It is so to like anybody getting upset, they're like, oh, now Fox News is going to run with it, and they're going to pretend like they found it. It doesn't matter. The internet remembers forever. We all know where it started.
I think the one thing mainstream, I'm glad to see them pick up important stuff, but the one thing they need to be shamed on is not having the stones to pick it up when it's in doubt. When people know what the outcome should be. You've done enough exhaustive research. You've found so many things. You 100% verified that this is fake. This is bullshit that they're pulling. But they don't have the stones. They don't have the stones to commit until there's that ruling. They're afraid.
It's true.
Yep. They're all afraid. And I mean, they just...
Look at Rolling Stone was talking to Dave Neal about this story, and they turned it down. Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone could have had this story, and what an amazing story it is of a false accuser who gets referred to prosecution. And by the way, that prosecutor from Maricopa that I sent you the text or the story of, he tells them, he's like, I've never seen this. I've never seen this happen before, where a judge has referred somebody for prosecution in a case like this. So
it's crazy.
Just so you know how rare this is. It's so rare that I asked my sister how many years she's been a lawyer and a judge. She was a judge for a while too. How have you ever seen this happen? Nope, she's never seen it. Not in her entire career. She's been a lawyer for over 20 years. It hardly ever happens. We all know judges have the ability to refer people for prosecution, but they hardly ever do it. Yep. The fact that this has been done, if Netflix isn't banging down the door of Dave Neal and Clayton Echard right now to get this story, they're out of their damn minds. Because this is something that's never happened before. It's literally a once-in-a-lifetime thing. It's going to be such a great... documentary to whoever is the lucky network to get it.
It's going to be wild. I mean, for real. It is. I mean, this is, if they tell it correctly, if they spend the time, this would be one of those multi-part documentaries. You go in 5-part and you're like, what the hell is going on?
It'll be as big as Baby Reindeer, if not bigger.
Oh, yeah. Oh, somebody should pick it up. I mean, they've already got the decision and everything else in too. So they take no chance on going in and putting it together. But their narrative, wait, whoops, I skipped here. I forgot. Law-tubers have fueled a cult-like following on their monetized channels. The self-proclaimed defenders of Clayton have relentlessly attacked my character, questioning my motives.
The judge found that you have an ignoble character. Ignoble character. Look it up.
I didn't know who the fuck Clayton was. So, it's always funny to be like, when Megan was like the Bachelor, I was like, what? Well, why would I? And then she mentioned that. I was like, oh, that's pretty crazy. I think I will look at this.
It's not like we weren't Clayton fans. We're.
I didn't know anything about the Bachelor.
We're fans of the truth. We're fans of justice and the truth, and we don't like false accusers. Tug and I both have a special interest in false accusers. That's one of the things that we talk about a lot on both of our channels. We talk about false accusations and how they ruin lives. So really, this didn't have anything to do with Clayton. I don't consider myself a fan of Clayton, although I like him personally. I think he's a very nice person, and I think he didn't deserve any of this. But I didn't watch his season of The Bachelor. I don't know him as a celebrity. I just know him as a victim of this terrible thing.
It bothers me. Like, these people always pull this kind of shit right here. I'm actually the victim. Me. I'm the victim. I am. But their narrative paints me as a manipulative liar out to trap a celebrity. A celebrity who himself admits I didn't want to sleep with him.
She's trying to make herself look really cool here. Look at this. She's like, I didn't want to sleep with a celebrity. I'm so above that. I just decided to give him 2 blowaways. Because that's
right.
better, Laura.
I just gargled that shit like mouthwash. I don't know what you're talking about. Gross.
Wait, what? Yeah.
What?
Allegedly. There we go. Hey, Dave Neal. Of course you made it in there. Judge Matta's decision appears eerily aligned with the rhetoric spewed by these online crusaders. Maybe that's because we read the same shit she did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who are you going to listen to? The guy that's like, well, you know, Donald Trump. Hypothetically, you know, if we were talking about Clayton, 3 women came forward and said, I'm not going to even repeat what he said, but yeah, those... You going to listen to that, or are you going to listen to the she fakes sonograms? Look at this. Look at all this proof. You know, arts and crafts.
Yeah, I mean, saying that Judge Matta's decision eerily aligns with our rhetoric. No, Laura, we just see through you. We see through you to the truth, and the truth is the truth. It's not your truth or his truth. It's the truth. And the judge, her job is to see the truth, and she saw it too. There's no. We're not communicating with the judge. She just sees through your shit.
If the judge was communicating with me, there would have been a mention of a tramp stamp lawyer. So fuck that.
Oh,
that'd have been awesome in the ruling. You know,
that would have been as awesome as Judge Carroll talking about his hair island in a ruling. Because he did. He did. He
tramp
said he
stamp
had
hand signs.
A small island of hair in a sea of baldness. And I fell out of my chair on a stream reading that, because that's what we'd been calling it Hair Island. And he was nodding to us that he had been watching and hearing us make fun of him every day. And you know what? He thought it was funny. And I thank God for Judge Carroll, because he is a prince among judges, man, that he could roll with it like that. But Judge Mata, she, for all I know, I don't know if she's watched any of this, but you know what? Just like Judge Carroll, she has a right to if she wants to, because she's a judge. A judge does not operate by the same standards a jury does. A judge is not told not to watch the news, is not told not to watch YouTube, is not told to shy away from news coverage of a case that they're working on. She's allowed to do that. She's allowed to watch it if she wants to, because she's a judge. There are perks that come with being a judge.
Well, what sucks about these type of people, yes, there are terrible judges out there. Judge Matta's decision right here was not one of them. We could universally go in and look for backers of Laura Owens. And, you know, if we rule out the fake accounts that Laura controls, there's not any. I haven't found any. Shit.
No, can't find any.
The online attacks have put me through hell. Yesterday, one user even commented on content creator Dave Neal's Discord. So she's in the Discord for Dave Neal.
Yeah, she's in the Patreon. She's probably in my locals, which I really don't want her to be there. Laura, get out of my locals.
She's probably memeing on herself. She's probably creating the spiciest
Please don't be in my locals. I don't need you there. I don't want you there. Nobody wants you there. Please stop.
She's creating the spicy memes. You know she is. She's like, look what they totally created about me.
Well, I'll tell you what. If she's creating memes and they're funny, she can stay.
Yeah.
I will always take the spicy memes, but if she's just lurking, I don't want her there.
She's probably like that one random stray person that's like, your hair is dry, Megan. You're like, oh no.
How dare you?
You monster.
Do you know how much conditioner I put on this bitch? Do you know how much conditioner I go through in a month? It's easily at least $200 worth of conditioner. You could say anything you wanted to about my hair. It is not dry. It is so moist.
You're like, you know what it takes to tame this mane? Come on. Shit. Okay, let's see. They said, quote, let her see what the world knows about her and thinks about her. Thinks about the worst, most embarrassing, horrible, shameful thing you've ever done. Then think about everyone watching it. talking about it, confirming it. Let her stay here and see what we think. And
What's
know.
wrong with that?
That's not even what
What's
they
wrong
know.
with that?
I mean, that's not even like...
What is she trying to say?
It's not even spicy. They're like, none of them know what happened between me and Clayton, but refuse to accept the truth. I did not fake my pregnancy.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
That's why, because it
You
disagrees
faked
with her.
3 of them, as far as I know. 3
How
twin
many
pregnancies,
fakes?
3 sets of twins. Do you know how impossible it is for one person to have 3 sets of twins, none of whom come to fruition? Do you know what let's do the math. You know who we need for that? We need that guy. We need that math guy who's dead now, unfortunately, to do the
math
odds
guy's dead
on
now.
that.
Bring
Who
him
am I
back.
talking about? Who am I talking about? The guy in the wheelchair.
Necromancy.
God, why can I never remember? Stephen Hawking. We need him to do the odds on what are the chances of a person with PCOS having getting pregnant with 3 sets of twins, 2 or 3 of whom one twin dies because of taking an abortion pill in every case, just one twin, not the other. And then the other one, I don't know, absorbs or something. Like, what are the chances? Like, dig him up and bring him back. We need Stephen Hawking for this case.
So AI tells me the odds of having, again, this is just AI, having 3 sets of fraternal twins are 1 in 614,125. According to some dude.
Wow.
Dr. Justin Brandt, the director, Division of Maternal Fetal Health Medicine of NYU, something, blah, blah, blah. But 1 in 614. And that's not counting the other items. That's just having 3 sets of.
Yeah,
While
it's ridiculous.
The odds of having 3 sets of identical twins would be 1 in 11.7 million.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, so if they were all, you're having identicals there. Well, they're all identical. None of them existed, so they were. What are the odds? You know how hard it is to come up with 3 sets of funny names, by the way, for your twins? Fucking A, man.
Fiverr and Figment are my favorite.
This kid, actually. The reality of my depression. After learning that I was pregnant, I was overwhelmed and unsure of what to do. The pregnancy was unplanned, and Clayton was far from supportive. This uncertainty took a massive toll on my mental health. I took prescribed prenatal vitamins and rested in bed most days trying to take care of myself. Deep down, I didn't want to have an abortion, but I also feared a suggestion where the alleged father would have no involvement once I gave birth. I was hoping for clarity that never came. My doctor advised that I continue taking my antidepressants, even though they posed a risk during pregnancy, because they were crucial for my mental stability. Essentially, I let nature take its course. Tragically, I eventually had a miscarriage.
What? What is this now? Now she's blaming her antidepressants for it? Wait, which one is this still? Are we still talking about Clayton, or are we?
No, this is about her now, totally. Well, kind of. It's Clayton's fault because he's not supportive.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, what? Because, he doesn't want involvement. I'm really depressed.
Okay, all right, got it.
I'm taking my I let nature take its course, and that caused a miscarriage.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Despite my efforts and the difficult circumstances, the judge labeled me, quote-unquote, uncredible and, quote-unquote, unreliable for not seeking prenatal care. She said that I wasn't, quote-unquote, reasonable. I wasn't reasonable. But according to the Guttmacher Institute, gut maker. And that's what, when I read that, that's what my Southern wanted to say, gut maker.
Gut maker.
And I was like, that's not right.
I think it's Guttmacher.
Guttmacher. Yeah.
Guttmacher.
Hey, Spawn Point 2.0.
No, I got
Oh boy.
I got a child.
We have a child interruption.
Yeah, just a second. What? What is going on?
Send cheese stick money, folks. Cheese stick money.
Okay. Well, we're reading an article that's not kid friendly. Okay. So.
Make sure nobody says something about the way I addressed you.
Okay.
Okay, spawn point 2.0.
Huh?
Okay, spawn point 2.0.
Okay. I
So
was getting
Tugs,
updates.
Your little girl is my son's age, I think. Isn't she 10?
Yeah.
So my son's about to be 10. And it's funny because when I hear her talk to you and the things she says, she's far ahead of him as far as like, her just everything. And that's how girls are. Girls are so much further ahead of boys than just in the way they present themselves and speak. It just cracks me up because I'm like, oh, they're the same age. My kid is still tripping over his tongue, trying to figure out what he's going to say. She's just so precocious. I love it.
We've always read, that's another thing that helps. It's funny. Like there are pictures of, when she's like palm size, me reading to her. It's really funny. People be like, that's so cute. And I'm like, yeah, look, I'm reading her the Death Note. Isn't that cute?
We do. We do that too. But I've noticed with my girls, the difference between my girls and my boy is big. Like boys just they mature slower. It's really noticeable. And probably because he's the baby too, his sisters used to speak for him so he didn't have to talk. And he had a slow tongue anyway, so they would just talk over him. And it's funny. His communication skills, they're still getting there, because his sisters talked for him. That always happens with the youngest one. The older ones will talk for them. And so their communication skills are lower. But it's interesting.
She's funny. She's she was messing with me earlier today, and some of the stuff she says, I'm like, my God, for 10 years old, you're quick, the quick-wittedness. I'm like, my God, the comebacks, they're so good. I was like, man, you're gonna be really dishing them out later on. But according to the Gutmaker Institute, I'm going with that, I like it better, nearly half of the pregnancies in the United States are unplanned, and many women do not seek prenatal care until well into their pregnancies, if at all. Many can't afford prenatal care. This is not you, Laura. None of this is you.
That's not you.
Yeah, we're not talking about, below the poverty
Many
threshold.
can't afford it. Come on.
Yeah.
Not you.
I mean, you could have dipped your baby in gold or something. Lord. Would have been blinging,
She was taking gold-covered Plan B. It was covered in gold leaf, like at those restaurants with the steak.
Oh, no. I'm surprised we didn't have a cold, it would have looked like a little idol on the freaking sonogram, glowing in there. You're like, that's not a baby, that's a little Buddha,
It's like, no, I had it dipped in gold. My daddy made sure that I got the fetus dipped in gold.
They offer that at Planned Parenthood on Sundays when they're closed. You're like, oh, okay. That's why they close. I got you now.
Sundays when they're closed. They open for very high profile rich girls, rich horse girls. We go there on Sundays and they gold plate our fetuses.
I told Daddy I wanted a diamond studded horse, but Daddy was like, no, so I got a gold plated baby. Okay.
It's the newest hotness. They're doing it's all the rage. It's all the rage in LA. I was the first one in Scottsdale to have a gold-plated fetus.
I was actually giving my fetus vocal fry lessons. It's going to come out of the womb saying, wah. Wow.
I had gene therapy so that my baby would have vocal fry.
Could you imagine crying in vocal fry? Totally wah.
Wah.
Totally wah. Shit. Oh my God. She'd be like, right, oh my God. It's totally hungry.
That little bit right there, that little bit right there deserves some breadstick money. Gold-plated breadstick money.
Get that baby some vocal fry. If you too would like to support a baby getting vocal fry lessons, make sure you super chat.
Oh, we don't even need lessons. There's injections.
You know, there's somebody out there that's probably going to be like, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to record my vocal fry and I'm going to put it up to the womb. You're like, oh, no.
I went to a drip spa and they gave me injections to screw around with my baby's vocal cords so that she comes out speaking in vocal fry.
You think your baby's smart? My baby knows how to order a pumpkin mocha latte, extra foam from Starbucks, way out the womb.
Pumpkin spice baby. She's
God.
a basic white bitch. And she comes out wearing pumpkin spice latte.
Oh my God, she even smells like pumpkin spice latte. It's the newest accessory.
I had it pumped into my uterus. Pumpkin spice fluid.
Gross. We designed the inside of the womb to look like a Starbucks. You see the ultrasound and it's like sponsored by Starbucks. Oh God.
Oh my God.
Why not, man? If I'd have seen all that, you know what? That wouldn't have surprised me any more than finding the fiver in that. After that, you could have put anything else you wanted into it. Oh, God. Okay.
Professional.
Are these women not entitled to file a paternity case if they know they're pregnant and want to set up a parenting plan prior to giving birth? Judge Matta's ruling essentially said they're not, and there will be no Starbucks for them. Terrible.
No Starbucks for you. Yes, there's Wi-Fi in my womb. Why wouldn't I have Wi-Fi in my womb?
Free Wi-Fi.
Free Wi-Fi. Only the best Wi-Fi. 5G.
Baby tablet in there. It's kicking. My baby's not kicking. It's playing with its tablet.
I went to Elon Musk and I had a tablet implanted into my uterus so that the baby could start
Don't
learning.
give people ideas. I can
immediately.
see somebody being like, that's a good idea. Starlink my uterus.
Go fuck yourself.
Lord.
But go fuck yourself.
Hopefully that's what Elon would say if someone came to him. with that
Hopefully.
idea.
I don't know. Elon might like, you're volunteering?
Ching.
Exactly. The baseless accusations. Judge Matta's ruling relied on what she termed a quote-unquote serial pattern of fabrications on my part. Let's be clear. I never faked a pregnancy, and there's no proof that I did. My supposed quote-unquote serial issue, as she put it, is that I'm 34 and have been pregnant multiple times, had 2 miscarriages and 2 abortions. That's her serial issue.
What?
For this, I am being referred to Maricopa County Attorney's Office
Nope.
and sanctioned, facing
False.
hundreds of thousands of dollars in attorney's fees.
No, false. You're being referred for perjury, not for getting pregnant or having abortions. For committing perjury and fabricating medical records. Get it straight, Laura. Oh, I'm yelling again. More whiskey. Hold on. This case makes me want to yell. I'm going to try for
Indeed.
ASMR voice, Megan. It's nighttime. People want you to be quiet.
Quiet, quiet, quiet.
Okay.
I got yelling the last couple of days over the copyright strike things, and Medium has been taking down rebuttal articles.
I know. They kill me.
Yeah, but they deny it. They're like, we don't do that. And like, oh, they're just disappearing, all by themselves. Spontaneous combustion, Calling the X-Files. I don't know. Judge Matta's ruling seems to be heavily influenced by Clayton's very public statement that I had faked pregnancies in the past. I don't know where a 2 came from. I was like, wait a minute. Which was supported by 2 exes, both of whom I have restraining orders against. I also have one against Clayton. Oh, well, so you have this interesting way of handling all of those prior cases? They all look the same? Judge Maddow wouldn't have looked at that, though. While they were supposed to be witnesses, neither of them ended up testifying in court. No,
they ran out of time. That's the only
Yeah.
reason why they didn't testify.
But despite that, they may be talking to, what was that again? Oh, yeah, Maricopa County Attorney's Office. They may be talking to that. So they may get to have their story out there anyway.
Yeah.
One of these exes, against whom I have a California domestic violence restraining order, Cleats, since 2018, was permitted by Judge Maddow to travel across straight lines to testify about my 2023 pregnancy with Clayton. It's actually not what they were going to testify about at all. This ex, who had no relevant knowledge and only met Clayton the week
Yeah,
of
they were
the
going to
hearing.
testify about your prior statements, Laura, and how you did this to the same thing to them.
Yes, over and over. But they had previously accompanied me to Planned Parenthood in 2016 to obtain abortion pills, proving the pregnancy was real, although he intended to testify otherwise. How do you know what he was going to testify?
I think Mike's claim on that one is he went to Planned Parenthood, but he had to sit in the waiting room, and she went back and did whatever she did. He has no idea. He has no way of knowing.
Right. I'm sure he wasn't invited. Well, I'm sure she didn't invite him back. You know?
No, he had to sit in the waiting
Nope.
room. So how does he know what happened back there? He
Nope.
doesn't. He just has to take her word for it.
Judge Maddow permitting my ex to come to Arizona for evidentiary hearing in my case with Clayton is a clear violation of Violence Against Women Act.
It is not. She keeps talking. This is so wrong. It's a
It makes me
wrong
mad
reading of the
that
law.
It makes me mad that there is not a Violence Against Persons Act, by the way. You want to see how fucked up the law is? Remember, like I was saying, look it up. 2013, the FBI changed how it defined ARP. Until then, men could not be ARPed. So look it up. I mean, we have archaic fucking laws out there. That's how you end up with stuff like this happening. But according to the VAWA, no party shall be permitted to seek, to obtain, or otherwise enforce a subpoena issued by a court of one state in another state, unless the court of the issuing state has reviewed the request and determined that it is necessary for the purposes of the case. Judge Maddow ignored this legal requirement, unilaterally deciding he wasn't a threat to me and disregarding the legal protections in place and the trauma he caused me. Judge Maddow didn't look up the law. Judge Maddow doesn't know the law. That's what I'm getting here. 2021, I sued. 1 second. That locked up on me just a second. In 2021, I sued the other ex in civil court for abortion coercion. Is that what she sued over?
Yes, that's what she sued Greg Gillespie for.
So that was like I said, I haven't looked over his case yet. I need to, That's why I want to look over it, because you see her threats.
And by the way, the judge, there is no such thing as abortion coercion when you're talking about a partner. A person, the law is written so that a medical provider cannot coerce a person into an abortion without consent. So it's all about providers and patients. It has nothing to do with relationships. It has nothing to do with your boyfriend saying, I want you to get an abortion. If you don't get an abortion, I'm not going to be your boyfriend anymore. That's not abortion coercion. We all may have our own ideas and, feelings about abortion, and let's put that aside for a minute. Abortion coercion under the law is about a provider and a patient. And she tried to apply it to her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, which didn't make any sense. She's the one, by the way, doing the abortion coercion. Date me and I'll have an abortion.
Yep.
Don't date me and I'll have a baby and make you pay for the rest of your life.
Yep. His protective order is up for renewal later this year, and he is undoubtedly trying to discredit me to prevent its renewal. So there's your conspiracy, huh? Oh, this is all about him getting a protective order. Oh, God. He threatened to, quote unquote, make my life a living hell, and has unfortunately made good on that promise. My attorney filed a notice to the court regarding the civil case to demonstrate that the judge did not find I had fabricated the pregnancy. It was confirmed to his ex in a call with, it was confirmed to this ex, my bad, I was like, wait a minute, this ex, in a call with the doctor. The doctor supposedly called and confirmed. Oh, man, I got to read more of that case. I've got to go through it all.
Wait, go back. What did she
She's
say?
saying, like, my attorney filed a notice to the court regarding the civil case to demonstrate that the judge did not find I had fabricated the pregnancy. It was confirmed to this ex in a call with the doctor.
I doubt that any of that is true. I doubt that that's true. I think she probably had like some call with the nurse practitioner who saw the HCG positive test, probably. I don't know. Who knows? But I don't. Yeah. See, here's the thing. We don't have as much of Greg's. We don't have as much of Greg's story because
you can't tell it.
He is scared to talk.
Right.
So we don't know. All we have are the public filings, and that doesn't tell even half of the story.
Well, we've seen how she narrates the trial we just watched. So, you know, and all the stuff there. So that she's been discredited so much in that. Yeah, I have no reason to believe her with anything else that she says. But despite the lack of evidence and testimony, Judge Manna clearly accepted these Clayton allegations as true. Judge Manna's actions suggest a disturbing bias, ignoring clear legal protections and allowing individuals with a history of violence and coercion against me to influence the court.
What? But a history of violence and coercion. That wasn't proven. The coercion was dropped, Laura. You didn't get that. You failed. The judge said that didn't happen. So now you're saying that he has this history of violence, whatever that means, and I don't think that was proven either, because as you can see, they hand out protective orders like candy to anybody who says they want one, and the coercion was dropped by the judge.
Unless it was, one of her exes, because apparently they're like, hey, do you want one? You know, oh, she's stalking me. Hey, do you want a protective order against him? And it's like, wait a minute. An insane injustice. Judge Manna's ruling suggests that I should have taken these positive tests, seen the positive results, been told by medical providers that I was pregnant, and understood that they meant nothing at all. The absurdity of this notion is beyond comprehension, and it doesn't even feel like real life. There were no prerequisites for filing my paternity case.
And that will always be the case.
No requirement for ultrasound, sonograms, or traditional prenatal care. But she said she had some of this. But she said she had some of this.
Yeah, but she couldn't provide it. Yeah.
Never would turn it over. Again, you know, if she would have had, she would have showcased proof of the things she said she had.
And this next thing that she says isn't true either. Yet the judge ruled that my pregnancy and subsequent miscarriage weren't real. That isn't what she ruled. She ruled that you couldn't prove it.
Yeah.
That you had no verifiable medical evidence to prove it. And you don't.
And that a reasonable person
also,
would.
By the way, an HCG positive test is not proof of pregnancy. It is simply one symptom. It's an indicator of pregnancy. It is not an actual verifiable, yes, you're pregnant. It's now I need to go to the doctor and get it verified. You never use a pregnancy pee stick test that you get at Walgreens to tell your friends and family that you're pregnant. You might tell your husband or your loved one or whatever, the father, yeah, look, I have a pregnancy test, but then you go to the doctor and you get multiple blood tests, which measures your HCG levels doubling. And if they're not doubling, guess what? You're not pregnant or you're having a miscarriage. So you don't tell friends and family that you're pregnant the second you get a positive P-stick test. By the way, I took like 4 of those when I first was pregnant. And then I went directly to my OBGYN and I got blood tests. And then they schedule you for a sonogram. And they do, and then when it's time, they do the Doppler. But like, you don't tell people till you're like 3-4 months along, right? Because you want to get past that first trimester. You want to get to safely to be like 5 months before you really start telling people, because that's that dangerous time. So no, a P-stick test, it is not verifiable proof of pregnancy. It's just not. And no pregnant woman, no woman who has ever been pregnant, ever in the history of anything ever, has used a pregnancy P-stick test as the only verifiable proof that she's pregnant. That is not what a reasonable person does. I'm yelling again, Tug.
It's because she's frustrating as fuck. That's what it is.
Oh my God. And this woman. And
it's like talking to a brick wall.
We've been doing this for too many months, and you'd think it would be over. We got this amazing ruling, and we're still having the same arguments.
No.
Somebody
It's actually
me.
beautiful. You know what it is, though? It's them talking themselves right into a real problem. That's why you keep, because some people were like, let's just talk about Clayton or whatever. No, you want to document all this because she likes to ghost this shit. She likes to ghost it and pretend it's not there. So you archive it, you make sure that you talk about it, and you make sure other people, they realize it's there, and keep your eyes open. Because again, she wants to talk. Yeah, I'm all ears, baby. I am all ears, and hopefully so is the prosecutor. The Arizona Department of Economic Security clearly states that a mother can file based on her belief in the pregnancy. That's a creepy statement.
That's a really stupid standard.
I knew a very mentally ill woman that every 3 months she would believe that she was pregnant. Under that, she could have filed. I mean, that's not good. But I have so much more than belief. I had multiple positive at-home tests, urine tests at a medical facility, blood tests at a lab, all confirming, in addition to photos and videos showing my pregnant belly. I had all the symptoms of pregnancy. I had the testimony of a renowned OBGYN who has delivered 22 billion babies, attesting to 99.99999 certainty that I was pregnant. None of it means anything. Oh, here's Gingrey. The devastating impact. My attorney is confident that we will reverse the ruling on appeal. And while that might correct the legal wrongs, it won't erase the stain this ordeal has left on my life. Winning it won't erase the Google searches, the court docs, or the headlines. You wanted this shit. You wanted to be searchable. You wanted to be like, I'm having Clayton's baba. I'm pregnant with it. She wanted this. But until then, I have lost more than just a court case. I've lost my peace, my dignity, and my faith in humanita.
Humanitoire.
Humanitoire. It's down the toilet. It's down
Along
the toilet.
with Septembre.
Toilet. Yes. In September.
The emotional toile is beyond words.
The toile. The emotional toile is beyond words. I spent countless nights awake, haunted by the weight of this nightmare, plagued by insanity and fear.
What a nightmare.
Nightmare. The constant public scrutiny, the whispers behind my back.
No, it's not behind your back. We're doing it right to your face.
Yeah, exactly. And
Nobody's talking about behind your back. Who's whispering? We're damn near. I'm damn near shouting here.
I know.
I'm having a heart attack.
Megan's got a blood alcohol chin of like, yes.
Yes.
Yes, more. The unrelenting judgment, they all cling to me, casting a long, dark shadow over every aspect of my life. My every interaction is now tainted by this case.
Don't say taint.
Taint by this case. And why? Because Clayton's celebrity status as a former bachelor is likely to sway the court to take a keen interest in my case. She's so crazy, man.
No, his celebrity status has not swayed the court to take interest
Look,
in
it's
your case.
Justy. It's Justy for Clayton.
Justy, what's a Justy? Is that like a
I don't
handy? Is that a handy?
Is it like
for
besties?
Handies for Clayton. Justies
It's like
for
besties.
Clayton. Besties.
Justies. And we're all going to be Justies for Clayton. Because strangers who are part of the Justies for Clayton cult have dedicated their lives to tearing mine apart, dissecting every detail of my life, spreading venomous hate, and creating such a frenzy that even the judge's father attended a hearing calling it a shit show.
Again, that was me. I'm the one who called it a shit show, not him.
Megan is the judge's father. Da da da.
Judge Mata, I am your father.
Oh, yeah. Because the legal protections meant to safeguard me were blatantly ignored, all because the judge chose to believe the improbable over the undeniable. She always labels everything as women's rights, too. You notice that? Everything. If you look at the tags, it's always women's rights. Mm-hmm. Got to weaponize the women, you know? And it's funny because women are the ones that they see through this so clearly. You know? Oh, my God.
Interesting. It's so funny how she knows that that the system is meant to protect her, and she's using it in order to pull this scheme, several schemes, and I hate it. Yes, that was the longest 11 minutes of my life. I should have left a long time ago, but I'm still here.
I'm gonna mark that freaking Reality Steve thing for tomorrow because I'm like that.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I have to
everyone
go.
needed- Yes. Okay.
I've got to get back
Super
to
Chats.
packing. You read Super Chats, but it was super fun to hang out with you. I'm going to be
It
gone
was.
for a while, so this was the last time we could do this for a while, and I'm going to miss you,
I know,
Tug.
it's sad.
It's very sad.
I know. Well, anytime you're lonely, just Xerox a copy of my face and take it with you.
I will not be getting a tramp stamp of your face, though. I
God,
draw the
man.
line. I draw the line there.
I keep trying to tell people. I'm like, it would be the best decision you would ever make. But whatever.
All right, I'm off to go get arped by the mouse. All right, here I go.
All right, have a good one.
See ya.
Later. Ah, that was something. That was something. Let me hit the rest of the super chats here. I say I got Fallen Hero, but thank you, Fallen Hero, again. Gifted membership. Appreciate you. Mojo, thank you for the 7 there. Appreciate that. Hiya, Tug and Megan. Hiya, returned. Thank you. Donna Shepard, thanks for the 2. Not sure who's worse, Hello, Dingus, or Amber Turd. I don't know. Like, you know, when you put them all together, when you're going with a who's worse, I mean, it depends on what they did. Again, you know, we have physical violence in one case, which is horrible, you know, loss of fame. But, I mean, you destroy lives no matter what with this stuff. So it's all bad. Zach, thanks for the 5. Breaking news. Laura Owens was miraculously impregnated through the back door. No. Stand by for news on the fecal twins. That's gross. No, I don't want to cover that case. Rosalind Duke, thanks for the 2. David Gingras, founder of LulTube. Indeed. He's like, I'm not just a client. I'm the founder. Rosalind Duke, thanks for the 2 as well. Canceled. K. Chairman. I found YouTube. There you go. Rhea Ride, thanks for the 5. It was interesting listening to Clayton's version of the real estate story. His bosses heard his version and thought hashtag yikes. Indeed. I mean, when you look at that, would you have wanted to continue through this? No. Laura Owens, thanks for the 5. I went to Planned Parenthood, 3623. In Manila, Philippines. It was a Thursday night, I think. Yep. Laura Owens, thanks also for the 5. No shy bladder here. I love the emojis, by the way. Come and get it, Tug. Nay. Nay. Oh, gross. Hung Hero, thanks for the 2. Hello, line. But Chichi Hawk Twa. Oh, Apparently not. Chris thinks the 5 there, Tug. The defense of Henry did nuke the state's case. They did. It only took 2 days. It was bad. I'm going to go through and I'm going to watch that. I'm going to watch just that 2 days. Just to, you know, I saw a lot of the other stuff coming in as it was going, but God, catching up with some of the it's just the clips were bad. Just not even watching all of it because we've been watching this one here, you know. But it looked bad. I'm sure sitting down and watching every piece of it, you're like, oh my God. John S., thanks for the 5 there. I had to look up the hot twa girl because I had no idea what you're talking about. Found a Joe Rogan video about it. Oh yeah, that's so funny. It's so crazy that's become viral. Look it up. It's mad. Hey, Amanda H. What's up, Amanda H? Thanks for the 5, by the way. In Medium bio and articles, strike Laura Owens for rules and harassment. You know, I'm conflicted on that. I understand, like, you popped up in something and she took aim specifically at you. Like, when you look at that, here's the thing. She keeps writing. She is pinning a story. And she's not only locking herself into a narrative, but she's also locking herself in as unwilling to stop harassment. After a judge's decision, talking about all these issues and referring her to prosecution, majority of people would stop, but not her. And the more she does that, I think the more problems she causes herself. But I understand why you're like, oh, God, too. I get it. There, Travis, thanks for the 5. What's up, Travis, man? This B is crazy. One of my exes had a kid with me and thought she was entitled to my money from a motorcycle accident and refused to let me see my kid. Yes, unfortunately, there is some horrible, horrible stuff that goes on in courts. And it shows you. I mean, you know, it shows you the bias that a lot of courts have. Again, you know, the laws are rigged in a way that they're just messed up. And they need to change. And hopefully this can change some laws. You know, unfortunately, everything before that changed. It's such a mess. Zohan, thanks for the 2. I bet Lynette and Hello are related. That's a possibility for sure. It seems like it, doesn't it? Heather, thanks for the 5. Hello, all. There's a very rare condition where some women get pregnant with twins every time. I seriously doubt she has it. Yeah, I very much doubt that too. I mean, there was no proof of a pregnancy, let alone a pregnancy with twins. But yeah, I mean, you're right, you know. And again, you know, for the statistics on that, there are anomalies that will hit those statistical numbers. You know, a 1 in 600,000. But you know, when you take that anomaly out, I wonder what. Let me check something real quick. Let me see. What are my chances of getting struck by lightning? I can't remember. Give me 1 second. I want to look this up. What are my chances of getting struck by lightning? Because I can't remember. I looked this up at one time. So you have, in a lifetime, like, put this into perspective, okay? In your lifetime, you have a 1 in 15,300 chance. Or every year, a 1 in 1.2 million. So her odds of having the 3 sets of twins are about half of getting struck by lightning in a year. That's crazy. And they're in your lifetime. Oh my Lord. That doesn't make me feel good. Actually, I have a grandfather that has been struck by lightning a few times. He's crazy. You know, he'd go out in a field on his tractor rolling around. You know, he got hit by lightning once that way. He got hit by lightning once in the driveway. It's never stopped him. But that was crazy. He was going over to eat with some family members and apparently got struck by lightning in the driveway. He just went on in and ate later. I was like, my God, what are you made out of, old man? Oh, crazy stuff. 4 cats and a dude. Thanks for the 2. No statement attached, but plenty of statement. Thank you for your backhand. Appreciate you. Dumb Bomb, thanks for the 10 there. For someone with PCOS, getting pregnant that many times with twins should be studied and written up in medical journals. She then took someone else's deserved place. Yes, in that neuro center, the abused. Indeed. And that's the, that is the problem. And she's taken other people's horror that they've gone through, tragedy. When she complains about people monetizing, what exactly did she do then? She turned something tragic that a lot of people go through into something that she could use against a person. It's wild when you hear her complaints about people covering her stuff, and then you think about what she did. Poor cat's in a dude. Thanks for that. She doesn't swallow. She hot. Another region. Gross. Yuck. Catherine, thanks for the 2 there. I got rum and root beer, so Megan wasn't alone there. Becky, thanks for the 10. Today was the 2-year anniversary of losing my mom. It's been a really hard day. I really needed to hear Megan and Tug laughing. Thank you both. Hey, milestones especially are rough. They are. Those early milestones. With time, I'm not saying that the loss becomes better, but what happens over time is when you're further away from the loss, you remember why you mourn people, and it's not the loss part, it's the things that happened that were positive. I'm sorry you're going through that. I hate it for anybody there that goes through it, but love and prayers with you for sure. Heather, thanks for the 5. I'm 100% pregnant by Clayton, too. I watched him in court. Oh, no, be careful. I work hard to Photoshop my pregnant belly. Ella was telling the truth. Wake up, people. Oh, man. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for that, man. You needed to you have to watch it through a screen, a special screen. You have to stare through one of those hot toit guards that your microphone comes with. And Kat, thank you for that $20 super sticker. All right, I think I'm done tonight. I will tomorrow. I still want to read that first Medium article. I'm not complaining because we got a new one. I think they're fascinating to read. But we will look at that Reality Steve discussion. I think that will be a very good one to go over tomorrow. Give me 1 second. Let me save that before I get out of here so I can remember exactly where it is. I also want to go over Megan's interview. And I want to go over that. There's still days to talk about this stuff. And like I said, I don't think she's ever going to stop. I don't even know if going to jail will stop her. But hey, hopefully there is some consequence that all comes from this. And also, Sandra. Let me throw this in there. Sandra D, for sure. Thank you for the gifted membership. Thank you. Appreciate you, Sandra D. All right. I'm going to call it tonight. I appreciate you, folks. We'll probably see you tomorrow.